Here are the top stories for today, February 21, 2022. Reopening in full swing, the vaccination certificates of 8 more countries are now recognized by the Philippines as it welcomes foreigners again to revive local tourism and other sectors. 9 cities in Metro Manila continue to see dipping infections, raising the likelihood of the region shifting to the most relaxed alert level 1. The government comes to the rescue of COVID-hit Filipino workers in Hong Kong through the grant of cash aid and other forms of assistance as the island deals with another wave of infections due to the Omicron variant. And the Philippines makes it clear it will not accept military junta-led Myanmar's ratification instrument of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership unless it stands in the way of a consensus with the ASEAN. Good day, I am William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Are we ready for Alert Level 1 status? Metro Manila mayors will convene tomorrow for their recommendation on the next alert level status here in the National Capital Region or NCR. In a Laging Handa briefing this morning, MMDA General Manager Attorney Romando Artes said Metro Manila mayors will base their recommendations on the DOH and IATF experience on the ground. Artes said they will also consider the risk classification, healthcare utilization rate, and the decreasing number of COVID-19 cases in the area. Meanwhile, he said the MMDA is already preparing for the possible easing of Metro Manila to the lowest alert level.
Tuloy po nating inaaral or binabantayan yung sitwasyon sa ating lisangan. Unang-una na pong ginawa natin, Yusek Rocky, yung paglilinis pong muli ng ating mga mabuhay lanes o yung mga alternatibong daan. Pangalawa po, inaaral po natin kung kailangan na palawakin yung coverage po ng ating number coding scheme. So aaralin po natin kung kailan talaga mabigat yung daloy ng traffic within the day, baka po i-expand po natin yan.
Vaccination certificates from 8 more nations are now being accepted and recognized in the country. These countries include Egypt, Maldives, Palau, Albania, Estonia, Greece, Malta, and Uruguay for purposes of arrival quarantine protocols as well as for interzonal and intrazonal movement. Acting Presidential Spokesperson and Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said the Bureau of Quarantine, the Department of Transportation, One Stop Shop, and the Bureau of Immigration have been directed to recognize only the proofs of vaccination approved by the IATF. The IATF earlier recognized the vaccination certificates from Argentina, Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Chile, Denmark, Ecuador, Indonesia, Myanmar, Papua New Guinea, Peru, Portugal and Spain, Azerbaijan, Macau Special Administrative Region, Syria, Malaysia, Ireland, Brazil, Israel, South Korea, Timor-Leste, Slovenia, Bahrain, Qatar, Switzerland, and Hong Kong. The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA, has vowed to provide cash aid worth $200 or around 10,000 pesos for each overseas Filipino worker in Hong Kong who tested positive for COVID-19. Acting Presidential Spokesperson and Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles assured that the government is extending assistance to COVID-infected OFWs there. The Philippine Overseas Labor Office has coordinated with the Hong Kong Labor Department as well as a non-government organization to provide an isolation facility to accommodate several OFWs. It has also provided aftercare financial assistance to those who recovered from COVID-19. Meanwhile, the Department of Labor and Employment belied reports that a number of Filipino domestic helpers had been fired by their employers after testing positive for COVID-19. The Philippine Consulate General in Hong Kong said they will blacklist employers who fire Filipinos on account of contracting COVID-19. As of February 19, 28 OFWs in Hong Kong contracted COVID-19, 5 of which have fully recovered. The number of COVID-19 cases are declining in 9 cities in Metro Manila, according to the Octa Research Group. Research Fellow Guido David said that of the 1,712 cases logged nationwide on Sunday, 369 were from the National Capital Region. Quezon City had the biggest decline in its daily tally on Sunday from 67 to 45 new cases, followed by Parañaque, Makati, Taguig, Pasay, Las Piñas, Caloocan, Navotas, and San Juan. Meanwhile, those who registered an increase in its daily tally are Manila with 100 new cases from 74, Pasig, Mandaluyong, Valenzuela, Muntinlupa, Marikina, and Pateros. Malabon, on the other hand, had the same number of new cases on February 19 and 20 at 7. Metro Manila, meanwhile, remains at low risk for COVID-19. David said Metro Manila's COVID growth rate slowed down to negative 33% from negative 38% on February 19. The police officers who were caught on video removing campaign posters of presidential candidate Vice President Leni Robredo in Santiago City, Isabela, were already reprimanded for their actions. Colonel Jean Fajardo, spokesperson of the Philippine National Police, said they are welcoming possible complaints to clear any gray area in the performance of their duty. This, as she noted that the involved personnel have been requested by the officials of the Local Commission on Elections as part of the Oplan Baklas. Fajardo said police officers need to be clearly briefed by poll body officials in their instances where their assistance is needed, as the PNP is merely tasked to provide security during these operations. Robredo's counsel Romulo Macalintal condemned the incident, describing it as trespassing. He said a search or seizure order should have been presented before police officers went inside the private premises. The camp of Robredo said they are also considering filing a case against the COMELEC. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana said any vehicle decked with any ribbons representing any candidate can come inside any military camp as long as they are not violating any regulations. This came amid reports that a supporter of Robredo was asked to remove the pink ribbon in its camp while he was about to enter the AFP headquarters in Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is no longer requiring voters in areas under alert levels 1, 2, and 3 to wear face shields in the upcoming May 2022 elections. In the COMELEC's new normal manual published on February 18, using face shields when voting in the elections is voluntary in areas under alert levels 1, 2, and 3. However, minimum health protocols such as wearing face masks will still be in place. Voters entering the polling places will undergo non-contact temperature check. Those with a temperature of 37.5 degrees Celsius may have to vote in an isolated polling place if they are confirmed to have a fever. Meanwhile, the boards of canvassers should prevent overcrowding and regulate the number of people inside the canvassing venue. Still ahead, vaccination in train stations, that's possible at least for the LRT2 starting tomorrow. And reviving the economy and jobs are the hottest election issues that need to be addressed according to a survey. Details ahead. Keep it here on the PNA Newsroom.
Commander Dito Ocampo po ng Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary para sa kumpanyang Disiplina Muna na pinangungunahan ng DILG. Bakit natin kailangan magpabakuna laban sa COVID-19? Dahil mahal mo ang iyong sarili, pamilya at bayan. Ang bakuna ang tiyak na paraan para tuluyang mapigilan ang pagkalat ng virus. May mga patunay na mababa ang porsyento ng pagkalat ng COVID-19 sa mga nabakunahan na. At matapos mabakunahan, malaki na ang tsansa na makabalik ka sa normal mong pamumuhay. Kaya tulad ko magparehistro na at magpabakuna na kontra COVID-19. Muli po, ako si Commander Dito Ocampo, Disiplina Muna Ambassador. Nagpapaalala, huwag matakot magpabakuna dahil bida ang may disiplina. Magparehistro tayo at magpabakuna para sa ligtas na pamilya, ligtas na bayan.
The Light Rail Transit Authority, or LRTA, will hold vaccination drives at select stations of LRT2 starting tomorrow. LRTA Administrator Jeremy Regino said they are making COVID-19 vaccines easily available, accessible, and convenient to the riding public. Commuters may avail of the first dose and booster shots at Recto Station every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and at Antipolo Station every Wednesday and Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Those who want to avail of the COVID-19 vaccination must register online. COVID-19 vaccination drive is also ongoing at the National Capital Region Police Office, or NCRPO. Despite declining COVID-19 cases in Metro Manila, NCRPO Chief Major General Vicente Danao Jr. said they are one with the government in ensuring that the majority of the population gets vaccinated against COVID-19. They wanted to ensure that they too are protected against the disease. At the moment, 99.41% or 23,414 NCRPO personnel were fully vaccinated, while 0.32% or 75 personnel received their first dose of the vaccine. The remaining 64 police officers comprise 0.27% of unvaccinated personnel due to health conditions and other reasons. The Philippine economy and job security are the top two election issues among voters. In the latest national survey of Publicus Asia, 65% of the 1,500 registered Filipino voter respondents said the Philippine economy is one of their top three issues of concern in the upcoming May 2022 elections. Meanwhile, 56% of respondents identified jobs as one of their top three concerns, followed by education, poverty, and corruption. The Pahayag National Election Tracker Survey of Publicus was conducted between February 11 to 16 this year. The Philippine government will not accept the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, ratification instrument of military junta-led Myanmar unless it stands in the way of a consensus in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin Jr. delivered the country's position during the ASEAN Foreign Ministers Retreat in Cambodia on February 17. Locsin said the Philippines will not accept Myanmar's instrument of ratification of RCEP, but if that stands in the way of Indonesia achieved consensus among brothers in ASEAN, he will not stand in the way and yield to their judgment. The 50-nation trade agreement was signed in November 2020 and entered into force on January 1st after the ratification of at least 6 ASEAN member states and 3 free trade agreement partners, including Australia, Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, China, Japan, Laos, New Zealand, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. New Zealand previously declared it will not deal with Myanmar under the said accord amid the humanitarian crisis since the military seized power in February 2021. The Philippine Senate has yet to concur with the ratification of the agreement. At least 170 workers in the Ilocos region have received 5,000 pesos each from the national government through the Department of Labor and Employment. These workers were affected by retrenchment or temporary or permanent closure due to the implementation of Alert Level 3. The workers are from 44 establishments that reported retrenchment or temporary or permanent closure when the alert level status was raised to 3 from January 14 to February 15. Dole Ilocos Regional Office said it has released a total of 850,000 pesos for the qualified beneficiaries under the third tranche of the COVID-19 Adjustment Measures Program, or CAMP 3. Dole Regional Director Lawyer Evelyn Ramos said they have requested additional funds from the central office to accommodate over 1,000 other applicants who have been evaluated. CAMP is Dole's safety net program that seeks to give one-time financial assistance to pandemic-affected workers in the formal sector. The Road Network Expansion Program of the Department of Public Works and Highways is paving the way for a new direct link between Dipolog and Pagadian cities. The 17.6-kilometer project stretches from the junction of Dipolog-Ipil National Highway and the Barangay Santo Niño Road to Barangay Sandayong Road crossing leading to Naga, Zamboanga, Sibugay. The road improvement is one of the legacy projects of the Duterte's administration's Build, Build, Build initiative that alleviates poverty by supporting the movement of people, goods, and services to and from communities. Up next, the Population Commission cites factors contributing to the drop in teenage pregnancies. And the NCCA unveils pandemic short films for free screening. More stories when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Paolo Medjones po para sa kampanyang Disiplina Muna na pinangungunahan ng DILG. Bakit ba kailangan magparehistro sa pagpapabakuna laban sa COVID-19? Mahalaga magparehistro dahil ito ang unang step sa pagpapabakuna laban sa COVID-19. May 3 pamamaraan upang makapagrehistro ang isang Pilipino na nais mabakunahan. Una, ang online registration sa inyong local government unit o LGU. Pangalawa, ang pagpunta sa mga vaccination centers at pagkuha ng registration form. At pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga pinuno ng barangay o sa mga barangay health center. Tandaan, online, sa mga vaccination site o sa mga barangay health centers ang pagpaparehistro sa pagpapabakuna kontra COVID-19. Muli ako po si Paolo Medjones, Disiplina Muna Ambassador na nagpapaalala, huwag matakot magpabakuna. Bida ang may disiplina. Magparehistro at magpabakuna para ligtas ang pamilya, ligtas ang bayan. Disiplinadong Pilipino ay rehistrado para maging bakunado.
The Western Visayas Regional Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict has reacted to those condemning the arrest of a doctor for kidnapping and serious illegal detention. Authorities arrested Dr. Maria Natividad Castro in her home in San Juan City on Friday. Aside from her supposed crimes, Castro was identified as a Communist Party of the Philippines official. RTF6 ALCAC spokesperson Flosemer Cruz Gonzalez said a medical license and an academic record do not grant immunity from the law. He said that Castro was arrested on the basis of a legitimate court warrant, so people cannot judge the merits of the case outside the court irresponsibly. Gonzalez also asked the CHR or Commission on Human Rights to be impartial and fair in their press release defending the doctor. RTF6 LCAC likewise assured the Department of Health and all healthcare workers that their contributions are highly appreciated, but law enforcers must also perform their duties. The Commission on Population and Development, or POPCOM, reported the downtrend of teenage pregnancies due to interventions amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of registered live births among mothers aged 10 to 17 years old significantly dropped from about 62,500 in 2019 to over 56,000 in 2020. Key interventions for the youth include social media-based Konektado Tayo with the United States Agency for International Development, as well as the I Choose Information Drive program with the Department of Health. POPCOM Executive Director Juan Antonio Perez III also cited the Challenge Initiative with the Zwilig Family Foundation and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as being vital in limiting early pregnancy. POPCOM vowed to focus further on safeguarding the welfare of young parents' families. In June 2021, President Rodrigo Duterte signed Executive Order 141, directing government agencies to address teenage pregnancies nationwide as a national social emergency. The University of San Carlos in Cebu City and the Max Planck Institute of Chemistry in Mainz, Germany, are developing a low-cost ventilator system to curb further spread of airborne viruses. Science and Technology Secretary Fortunato de la Peña said the project aims to redesign the low-cost ventilator system and modify this to fit indoor tropical environment in the Philippines. The project is supported by the DOST Philippine Council for Health Research and Development in collaboration with its inventor, Dr. Frank Hillis of MPIC. De la Peña added that the project team is also considering its use in public transport vehicles as well as in small manufacturing facilities. The project team, consisting of 3 USC engineers, already left for Germany to study and train in developing the ventilator. Some 16 short flicks produced by regional filmmakers amid the COVID-19 pandemic are now showing after the unveiling by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts on Saturday. Eksena Cinema Quarantine 2, COVID-19 Filmmakers Diaries, or ECQ2, was launched in partnership with the Bacolod-based University of Saint La Salle. It is a sequel project of the ECQ initiated at the height of the enhanced community quarantine in the previous year. The NCCA said the project is not only a showcase of the best of regional filmmaking, but a testament to Filipino filmmakers' commitment to film as art and the Philippine society. The short films can be watched for free at the official Vimeo account of the NCCA National Committee on Cinema. 2 virtual online cinemas will run until March 25, 2022. In sports, Belgium bagged an Olympic gold in the Beijing Winter Games after 74 years. Speed skater Bart Swings raced to victory in men's mass start at the National Speed Skating Oval on Saturday to win the historic gold medal. Swings packed up 63 sprint points in 16 laps to beat South Korean pair Chung Jae-won, who settled for silver, and Lee Seung-hoon, who got the bronze. Swing's gold medal is Belgium's first Winter Olympic gold since 1948. Michel Lanoy and Pierre Bonnier, who died in 1981, claimed the gold medal for Belgium in St. Moritz' 1948 Winter Olympics in pairs figure skating. The 1948 Olympics in Switzerland's St. Moritz was the first Winter Games after World War II. Swings previously won a silver medal at the Pyeongchang 2018 Winter Olympics. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. Reopening in full swing, the vaccination certificates of 8 more countries are now recognized by the Philippines as it welcomes foreigners again to revive local tourism and other sectors. 9 cities in Metro Manila continue to see dipping infections, raising the likelihood of the region shifting to the most relaxed alert level 1. The government comes to the rescue of COVID-hit Filipino workers in Hong Kong through the grant of cash aid and other forms of assistance as the island deals with another wave of infections due to the Omicron variant. And the Philippines makes it clear it will not accept military junta-led Myanmar's ratification instrument of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership unless it stands in the way of a consensus with the ASEAN. As Filipinos, we all have a vital role to play in preventing the spread of COVID-19. So remember, wear your face masks and face shields, wash your hands often, practice safe physical distancing, go out only for essential reasons, and get vaccinated as soon as possible to protect ourselves, our families, and the community. Together, we can beat COVID-19. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, check our webpage or log onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and on IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, we tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day, everyone.